Dear world, I have been told by many that the releasing of this truth may pose certain challenges in my life. There are many institutions that this truth will be viewed as disruptive to their system of profit and gains. I want to live a happy and peaceful life, and I pray for longevity, not just for me, but for our entire species. Know that I would never harm myself nor anyone else for that matter. Nevertheless, if my life has to face certain challenges so that this planet can be saved, please do not let these trials that I may have to face be in vain, and pray for me as I am praying for you. Sincerely, Terrence Deshaun Howard, May 25th, 2019. Just so that it would always be known, I should never walk out there alone or harm myself. So if something happens to me and someone says that he committed that he did, no, I would never, ever do that. Know that somebody else did that. And I'm not going to allow that to happen.
What you are about to encounter will challenge and potentially redefine your perception of reality. This journey will shake the very foundations of our understanding of the world. Every belief, every piece of knowledge you hold dear will be scrutinized, questioned, and potentially transformed. As we delve into this profound exploration, a veil will be lifted from your eyes, illuminating truths previously obscured, and you will begin to see the world in a new light. It is with profound respect and deep gratitude that we acknowledge Terrence Howard's monumental contribution to this awakening. The book we're about to engage with is not just a collection of pages or ideas, it is a gateway to a new understanding, a testament to Terrence's dedication to uncovering and sharing the truth. His decision to make this book freely available is a gift of immeasurable value, reflecting his genuine desire to enlighten and empower us all. Terrence Howard has devoted his life to the pursuit of knowledge, to challenging the status quo, and to seeking answers to the fundamental questions that define our existence. His work is an invitation to embark on a journey of discovery, to question the narratives we've been taught, and to open our minds to the infinite possibilities that lie beyond conventional understanding. For making this knowledge accessible to everyone, for striving to awaken humanity to a broader comprehension of our universe, we extend our heartfelt thanks to Terrence. The generosity in sharing his life's work without expecting anything in return is a rare and noble act that deserves our deepest appreciation. Now, before we delve into the groundbreaking insights of Terrence Howard's work, I have to show you what Joe Rogan has to say about this remarkable individual.
Terrence Howard, the guy who interviewed me for Rolling Stone, told me that Terrence Howard is like a legitimate genius. Like he's like, you talk to the guy is absolutely brilliant.
Maybe he figured it all out.
Like he was using, it wasn't like nonsense talk.
Right.
He was like, oh, this is like shockingly coherent thing to say.
I think it's necessary to understand just how much of a genius this man is, considering what we're about to discover. So please watch the entire video because we need to grasp this information fully. And if you think it's important, please share the video, give it a like, and comment your thoughts on this. It will help ensure the video doesn't get buried. Let's help promote his work and ideas. This wonderful individual has taken a dangerously brave decision to speak the truth. So at least this we can do. Let's share it. Thank you.
I've spent 45 years searching these things out and trying to figure out what the universe really, how it really worked.
We will start by reading a few words from Terrence Howard, left in the book as a cautionary note or guidance for us all. I encourage you not to become frightened, but brace yourselves, because the things being discussed within the pages of this book will shake the very foundation of our understanding of the world. Everything that you think you know about what you know will be called into question. A tidal wave of refreshing truth is being released upon this dark and muddied world. You are about to embark upon a journey into a forbidden subject, one that tackles a question in mathematics that has never been asked publicly. It is a subject considered so taboo that not one paper or book has been written upon this topic in modernity. If the information in this book is heeded, then this species called mankind will have the keys necessary for an eternally sustainable existence. If not, This species will suffer the same fate as the trilobites that crawled across the ocean floor some 500 million years ago. Extinction. Our species will pass away and be remembered only for our ignorance. That is, of course, if our fossils survive long enough for a more advanced race to find them. The truth is that everyone is just afraid of this topic because of the potential consequences associated with disclosing the true value of the number 1. Also, the fears associated with exposing the inconsistencies that govern the current practices of multiplication, division, and how these are applied to science. Unfortunately, every country in the civilized world has their economy rooted in the value that has been placed upon the number 1. And from its valuation, the world calculates interest rates, salaries, tariffs, taxes, etc. All of these calculations are based upon how the number 1 is multiplied and divided. As a result, the world's math makes dollars, but it doesn't make sense.
And I think it's time to start right at the very beginning and walk through this thing. So the question for the Church of Truth, Love, and Consciousness and all those listening, does a dollar times a dollar equal $1, or does a dollar times a dollar equal $2? I have never seen anywhere in the universe where an action times an action doesn't have a reaction. So now that's why we need to discuss this and examine it and how they came up with this strange number which is illogical, because a length times a length has to have an area. So you can't have a 1 times 1 equaling 1, because now what happened to the length times the length? The area is no longer in existence.
Terrence starts by posing an intriguing question. Money can't be multiplied, or can it? A penny times a penny equals what? Since the penny is no longer based upon the hard asset of gold and is now based upon an imaginary value that is equal to a virtual value of the integers or numbers, then it follows 1 penny times 1 penny equals 1 penny, according to the rules of current mathematics and multiplication. 1 penny times 1 penny equals 2 pennies, according to the laws of universal mathematics. 1 penny times 1 penny equals 0.0001. According to a calculator, a penny times a penny, 0.01 times 0.01 equals 0.001. Does a penny times a penny equal 1 penny based upon the rules of multiplication? Or does a penny times a penny equal 0.0001 based upon our current decimal system? A value so small that there isn't even a currency circulated for that amount by the US Department of Treasury. All calculations shown here are reasonable forms of multiplication, but which one remains consistent with observed universal phenomena? How would you like your money calculated? A nickel times a nickel equals what? A nickel is equivalent to 5 pennies. Then a nickel times a nickel should also equal a quarter. A nickel times a nickel, according to the calculator, is 0.05 times 0.05 equals 0.0025. Again, a value so small that there is not a currency circulated to represent it. How would you like your money calculated? A dime times a dime equals what? A dime is equivalent to 10 pennies. A dime times a dime should be equivalent to 10 pennies times 10 pennies. 10 pennies times 10 pennies is equivalent to 100 pennies, which is equal to $1. But a dime times a dime equals a penny according to a calculator. 0.10 times 0.10 equals 0.01. How would you like your money calculated? What is a quarter times a quarter? A quarter is equal to 25 pennies. Therefore, a quarter times a quarter equals 25 pennies times 25 pennies, which equals 625 pennies, which is 6.25 US dollars. Yet a quarter times a quarter, according to the calculator, is 0.0625. 0.25 times 0.25 equals 0.0625. How would you like your money calculated?
Allow me to enlighten you. If 4 over 2 is the inverse operation of 2 times 2 equaling 4, then it would naturally follow that 2 divided by 1, or 2 over 1, is the inverse operation of 1 times 1 equaling 2. So let's talk about this. What does your common sense tell you about these two scenarios? What do they have in common, and what are their differences? Division. The number 4 is divided by 2 twice. And the truth is, the number 2 is divided by 1 twice. The proof of that, if you had $2 and split it between 2 people, you would have to give each person $1 in order for it to be even. In addition, 2 plus 2 equals 4, and 1 plus 1 equals 2. Subtraction, 4 minus 2 equals 2, and 2 minus 1 equals 1. Multiplication, 2 times 2 equals 4, and 1 times 1 equals 1. Does that make sense to anybody there? Does that seem like it's following any similar line of congruency? I mean, can you see where the mistake has occurred? Both of these scenarios are identical in every way. The only difference exists in dimension alone. If they add, subtract, and divide according to the same ratio, then they must also multiply according to the same ratio, plain and simple. If 2 over 1 is inconsistent with 1 times 1 equaling 1, although 4 over 2 is consistent with 2 times 2 equaling 4, then it should follow that 2 squared equals 4, which it does, and 1 squared equals 2. Yet the math and scientific community tells us that common sense and logic are wrong in this case because of a product of an arbitrary convention called the identity property. Let's discuss.
In mathematics, an identity element or neutral element is a special element, such as 0 in the set of all integers under addition, or 1 in the set of positive integers under multiplication, with a special set of powers that enables it the ability to defy the laws of physics on 2 of its primary founding assumptions. First of all, concerning the number 1. In the case of 1 times itself or any other number or variable, the end product is that same number or variable, and that any number multiplied by a 0 equals a 0. As a result of this arbitrary rule, we are left with 2 false statements, 2 unnatural scenarios that makes it necessary for the fundamental laws of physics concerning action and necessary reaction, and the laws concerning the conservation of energy, to be suspended in order for this identity rule to exist. 1 times 1 equaling 1 is paramount to an action times action without a reaction. In mathematics, an identity element or neutral element is a special type of element of a set with respect to a binary operation on that set, which leaves other elements unchanged when combined with them, like a ghost or a shadowy influence upon nothing at all, yet it alters the natural course of any number it supposedly encounters. Therefore, in the case of 1, it is left without a mate, an equal and oppositely balanced condition, because it remains unchanged when other ones are combined or attempt to simply multiply. A state of existence that is impossible in this universe of equilibrium. Because the rule of nature is to first divide accumulated matter by the process of radiation and expansion, which is the work of magnetism, and then to multiply that which has been divided through the process of centripetal gravitative contraction, which is the office of electricity. Secondly, on the identity of 0 in multiplication, any number multiplied by 0 will become a 0 product. First thing, in order to multiply something by something else, they must be dimensionally equal. Then how do you make something dimensionally equal to nothing? The laws of conservation of energy might as well pack up and move away, because how can a something multiplied by nothing cause the something to disappear? Remember, energy cannot be created or destroyed. Yet, in the case of multiplication, a process by which all things continue to exist and propagate their existence, 0 behaves as a black hole of the number system that gobbles down anything that comes near it, a concept that doesn't exist except in outdated science fiction novels. How in the world have these 2 false statements been positioned as the unquestionable God rules of mathematics for the last 6,000 years? How deeply has this lie been interwoven into the very DNA of our approach to math?